Sometimes you're running and the other one's walking. And it's okay to be ahead, but don't lose sight. Don't get so far ahead. Well, you just tell yourself, this too shall pass. Okay, great. Well, what the hell's that mean? What are you fucking talking about, man? Dramas. I don't like to create false drama. When it comes and it's hard, I am affected. What you're about to say and do will outlive you. So you better fucking do it well. Pretty quick threshold for being able to laugh, like honestly start giggling when I'm in the shit. We all want to be relevant, but I think we all forget to ask ourselves relevant for what? The challenge when things are running great is we all tend to think, aha, would I be any less happy if I had a 30, a 40, a 50th of what I have right now?
What have you learned about choosing a good partner?
Oh. Well, I'm still learning, but friends first. I mean, did Camille and I become friends first? No, we became lovers pretty quickly, but the things I respected about her and saw that she had were things that I valued in a close friend. Someone who respected their past, someone who had a great sense of humor, but was never going to lie to put themselves to get what they wanted in front of me or take advantage of me. Someone who, was impressed with who I was much more than they were impressed with what I did. Someone who very quickly saw the best in me and was like, I like that. Let's see some more of that, and watered that side of me. So we talked about earlier. See some more of that. Let me put some more fuel on that fire so you can even be more of that. Why not be all of that? Then if you're going to get together, I think this was a Susan Sarandon line when she was married to, what's his name? Tim? Who was Susan Sarandon married to years ago?
An entire room of people shaking their heads.
Great actor, Shawshank Redemption. Tim Robbins.
There we are.
They had a line that said that we have similar moral bottom line. It's always stuck with me. When you're going to partner with someone, especially if you're going to have family, I think, make sure you got a similar moral bottom line. Because, and look, Camilla and I are going through new challenges now because we have teenagers. Our moral bottom line and do's and don'ts and what's accepted and what we wouldn't accept has been pretty part and parcel up until now. Teens are getting like, well, I'm a little loose over here. Yeah, let them go. Let them go get that scar. Let them go get their heart broke, whatever that is. Let them go try it out and fail or succeed. Let them go negotiate, free play. She's a little more. And so her and I are working on that balance right now. And it's a new balance having teenagers as they're getting their independence, but having a similar moral bottom line, connected to bringing out the best in the partners is having somebody you're a fan of and that they're a fan of you. You call each other on your shit, or you don't have to call it because a look says enough. And you're like, yeah, I know. Yeah, that was me, bogey, or yeah, I got away with that one again. No more, cut that out. And then what I'm learning now, trying to learn, is that it seems we're essentially all the person that, for me now, I think I'm essentially the same person I was 19 years ago. It seems essentially the same person I was when I was 8, 50 or 1. But our value systems reorder as we grow independently and as a couple. Your value system changes for every parent when they become a parent for what's important in their life. So you're moving things different places on the chart, in the number 1 spot, the 2 spot, and 3 spot. But to understand that it also happens with us as individuals, and going that we do change, and how do we, even by being essentially the same person that we fell in love with, we still need room to change along the way and go through things that may seem inconsistent with who the DNA of why we fell in love with that person or what we love, who someone was. But no, there's still essentially that. But give them room to change. Give them room to change. Also, I think it's a Springsteen line. You don't about sometimes you're running and the other one's walking, and it's okay to be ahead, but don't lose sight. Don't get so far ahead that you leave your mate lost back there going. Sometimes, somebody's real healthy, the other one's on IR. But we're still on the same team. That takes patience by the one who's healthy and takes persistence by the one who's on IR. But you gotta wait up to hold that hand to go, we're still doing this together, even though maybe in this zone right now in my life, I'm flying and you're walking. So certain things that I find, well, she's flying and I'm walking, and so navigating that and how we change as we grow up, and measuring that against who we initially fell for in the first place and seeing, well, they are still that. Of course they changed. Hell, I've changed. I want to say, and a lot of times I know I said, well, you've changed. I was like, well, heaven, yeah, I've changed.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. And doing that with a partner is part of the work, I think, of a relationship.
I think one of the themes of your worldview that I've become familiar with is alchemizing bad times into good ones. A reminder that things that seem bad can end up being good. And in retrospect, I think it's obvious and almost romantic to think about that alchemy in that way. But in the moment, it's basically impossible.
Yeah.
How can people, or how do you have more of that perspective during a hard time?
Yeah. Well, look, a couple things. First off, I probably start off intellectualizing something that I know I probably should believe in, but don't believe in it, and convince myself, even to an extent, to trick myself that, to sit here and go, well, you just tell yourself, this too shall pass. Okay, great. Well, what the hell's that mean? Even if it's true. In the moment, you're like, what are you fucking talking about, man? I'm in the debit section. I'm in a warning section. This sucks. I think that how much I'm conscious of it or not, my undeniable optimism and faith that this isn't all it is. And if it is, so what? That's okay. Well, then really, so what? You know what I mean? What's the big deal? It minimizes. I seem to have a tendency not to make a bigger deal out of things that other people make a bigger deal. Dramas. I don't like to create false drama. When it comes and it's hard, I am affected. I get the blues. I get sad. I get mad. I'm a shit to be around. I can't get to sleep. I got demons in my own head trying to work the riddle out. Why did this happen? That's the other thing that's tough for me is I think that any bad thing that happens to me, my initial reaction is, well, what'd you do wrong to lead to this? Like in a relationship, Camilla and I get in an argument. My mind immediately goes, well, what'd you do in the last 2 weeks to let this get to a point where you just had to raise your voice, or she had to raise her voice at you? Evidently, usually there's some P's and Q's that were not handled to get to that point. So I like it when things are running like this. The challenge when things are running great is we all tend to think, aha, this is it. I've found it. Bottle it. If I realize this, I can maintain this forever. And the truth is bullshit. No, we can't. But we can minimize it. There are habits that I notice of things I take care of in my life, health-wise, faith-wise, father-wise, husband-wise, that that if I'm doing that consistently, there's less valleys. There's less stress. There's less warning signs. There's less problematic, oh shit, how'd we get in this? So there's consistently behaviors that I know I can act upon that have worked in the past.
I'm fascinated by people who take responsibility for things that aren't their responsibility. We often get told pieces of advice in the modern world. It might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. And one of the ways to unburden yourself is to assume that everything is. But there is a cohort of people.
It's an arrogant notion. Yeah.
Look at how I If only
Yeah.
I could have stepped in. Yeah, you make yourself
But
a
also
center.
the first side, I'm the reason that I stepped in shit, which is also an asset. Even if someone go, why are you giving yourself so much credit for screwing that up? You know?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, look, I think part of this for me comes from we didn't get in trouble in my family for the bad deed. We got in trouble for getting caught. So times where I can screw up and get away with it, I feel better than times that maybe I didn't screw up as bad, but got busted. Because I got caught, because I got busted, because I got myself in the pickle, because things didn't go how I wanted it to go or how I believed it could go.
Is there something that you try to remember about the upside of a crisis during a crisis, or do we just need to ride that out? Because I think that
That's a
perspective,
good question. Yeah, right?
zooming out, would be so beautiful. And in retrospect, if only you could give yourself the gift of distance, of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet you know something hard is going to come again and you're going to be swept away by the wave.
I mean, for me, I think it's an obvious dance of the both because you can't jump to the objective right away and go, Inshallah, oh, fate'll have it. This too shall pass. I'm fine. No, because then you don't deal with the crisis. I do have a pretty quick threshold for being able to laugh, like honestly start giggling when I'm in the shit, because I've found that I'm able to handle the shit better if I just start quicker. I start going, "Are you kidding me?" And I'll get objective and remind myself things like, "You gonna die, McConaughey," which gives me that so what? This is not as big of a deal as I thought. I also quickly somehow comes in my head, not right now, but one day this is gonna be a great fucking story. I quickly go to that. I'll project forward into those places that ease me a little bit, and at least maybe look at it with a good eye.
You're almost imagining being that future you, laughing back at this present you.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the faith and belief that again, I'm nervous before I'm going to go speak or something. I got a little thing in my wallet. You're going to die one day, McConaughey, and I'm like, that relaxes me. If I'm going in, complacent, I got another note and tell myself, what you're about to say and do will outlive you. So you better fucking do it well, to get me more on edge.
What do you wish more people knew about the price of success in life?
Well, success has taken on different definitions over time. It used to have to do, and some people listen to this will be like, come on, McConaughey. It used to have to do with integrity. Or that actually, I think was a word that was in the definition in 1901 or 11. And now, money, fame, that's your definition of success. So it seems to be that, and always has been to some extent, whoever has more is the most successful. More access, more money, you're the winner. The last, for a lot, that is, I'm not saying it's a race to the red light, but I am saying the fourth quarter of that being your goal, it has the residuals decline on quality of life. I've met many more very rich men who've chased that dollar to be successful and to be relevant for having the most money, that the last 15, 20, even younger years were bewildered, lost, had no relationships, didn't have purpose. Chasing the dollar, they just did it. They were good at it and made it happen, but they didn't feel what they were doing. They couldn't even necessarily say what they were really good at. Just good deal makers or made the right calls in certain mathematics. That's definition. It's also why I wasn't surprised when Trump first got elected. Had fame, had money. We sell that every day in the West as this is how you make it.
It's America.
This is what you
That's
do.
America.
That's America. Yeah. So I was not surprised because that's what we're getting fed. What is success? I just let me prephrase it with this. we all want to be relevant, but I think we all forget to ask ourselves relevant for what before we chase our relevance or chase success. I think there's a difference between success and profit. I mean, profit does pay you back. Can you do things? And I love money. I'm all for it. But I see a lot of one-way tickets that are, you can get successful, win, have more money, but not be making a profit in your life. How many times we sacrifice quality for quantity? The two don't have to be separate. Now, you may have to make some sacrifices of quantity to have more quality, but I think we should give quality more credit than we do.
Well, are we not ultimately having more quantity in the hopes of more quality? You're sacrificing.
But that's not a quid pro quo. It doesn't equal out to that. We believe it will, and hey, it can access. I mean, I got a lot of things now for money I've made that I'm like, damn right, man. I'm glad I have that. That makes my life not even more convenient. I actually like that more. I like what I can do with my family more with that. I like what Camille and I can do as a husband and wife. I like what I can do solo even more with that and enjoy it. And again, it feeds me. But would I be any less happy if I had a 30, a 40, a 50th of what I have right now? No. I know that. I know way I'd be any less happy. No way I'd be less happy. Do I want to give all that away and say, well, will it make me poor? Sometimes I'm like, yeah, you need to be more poor. Other times I'm like, no. Don't be getting the imposter syndrome on this one. You're using it for pretty good. You could use it even better, but don't get mad at it. You know what I mean? I think we just need to ask ourselves that question, relevant for what? And also in the pursuit of quantity, which is what the world rewards, ask ourselves, watch out, just drinking the Kool-Aid and go, what is the quality? What do I want? And again, that's a hard question of what do I value the most? What do I really value the most? And it's a hard question to answer, but if we can answer that, make sure it makes us answer the quality question of what we want more of. And not just the quantity question. Because a lot of us, I've done it too, been blind as could be chasing the quantity to see, let me see if I can get the biggest number.
That's dopamine, Matthew.
And I'm pretty damn good at it. If I want to put on my business hat and go, that's all I'm going to be right here, found out I'm pretty good at it. But I don't want to stay in that dopamine, Matthew, on that. Because I don't get the reward. I get the reward of the acquisition, but the acquisition does not equally pay back the dopamine of the getting. It's the conquering. That's the hit, you know. Redefine. Everyone can have their own definition of success, and ask yourself: can I have quality with the quantity, and can I have profit with my success? And profit leans into relationships. I think profit ends up to be a spiritual question too, and how we treat ourselves and others. I think it's a longer game. This chase for just success, if that's money and quantity, is a short-sighted game. If that's all you're after. Now I understand some people out there who can't pay their rent, who are sick and trying to make it to the next day, would listen to this and go, easy for you to say. And I say, you are correct. I'm speaking from my position because you asked me. Because you got some people that are going, I'm not. This is a hyperbolic conversation you're having. I'm trying to make it to the next day. Man.
Type B person with a type A problem thinks, what a champagne issue that is.
Yeah. It's a real one, and I'm apologizing for it, but I understand the difference. But I would say that if more people that are type A or maybe things are working out, just check your quality as you're chasing your quantity and make sure that whatever you're succeeding at is giving you actual profit and actually paying you back.
Matthew McConaughey, ladies and gentlemen, dude, I really appreciate you. I love the way that you think. I love your insights about life. Congratulations on the new book. Congratulations on the tequila. And
thank you.
Thank you for coming today. I really, really enjoyed this.
I did too, Chris. Very much. I'm glad to be here, man. Met up top in a barn somewhere in Austin where I was looking down, didn't even know where I was going. Showed up at a barn. I was like, oh, this is where we are. Yes, it is.
Here's a summary of the key points and takeaways from the conversation between Matthew McConaughey and Chris Williams, including actionable insights on choosing a life partner, friendship, and shared values. McConaughey emphasized the importance of mutual respect and shared moral values in a partnership. He shared how he admires his wife, Camilla, for her integrity, humor, and ability to bring out the best in him. Moral bottom line? A shared moral foundation is critical, especially when raising a family. As challenges evolve, like parenting teenagers, maintaining alignment on core principles becomes a new test of balance. Room for growth. Partners should allow each other the space to change and grow, understanding that values and priorities reorder over time. Navigating tough times. Perspective and resilience. McConaughey suggested embracing the belief that this too shall pass. While it's hard to see in the moment, crises often lead to growth and can become meaningful stories in retrospect. Laugh through struggles. Finding humor in challenges can ease the burden and shift focus toward resilience. Optimism as a habit. By cultivating consistent habits, whether in health, relationships, or work, McConaughey minimizes the frequency and impact of life's valleys. Success and its true meaning. Redefining success. The traditional definition of success, money and fame, is often misleading. McConaughey highlighted the importance of asking, relevant for what? To ensure we pursue success aligned with our values. Quality over quantity. True success lies in maintaining quality in life rather than chasing excessive quantity. Sacrificing time, relationships, and purpose for material gains often leads to emptiness. Contentment. Despite financial achievements, McConaughey stressed that his happiness wouldn't diminish if he had significantly less, underscoring the value of internal fulfillment over external wealth. On responsibility and ownership. Taking ownership. While not everything is our fault, assuming responsibility can be empowering. McConaughey shared that even in conflicts, he reflects on his actions leading up to the situation to identify areas for growth. Balance between control and acceptance. Recognizing the limits of our influence while taking constructive action can lead to more peace and less false drama. Lifelong relationships, patience and persistence. Relationships often require navigating phases where one partner is thriving while the other struggles. Staying connected and supporting each other ensures long-term growth as a team. Staying grounded, McConaughey reminded listeners that as partners grow individually, it's crucial to remain aligned without stifling personal evolution. Actionable takeaways. Choose partners wisely. Seek someone who aligns with your values, respects your growth, and supports the best version of you. Redefine success. Focus on quality and fulfillment rather than quantity. Regularly reassess your goals to ensure they align with your core values. Embrace change. Allow space for personal and relational growth, acknowledging that change is natural and essential. Find humor in hardship. Laugh at life's struggles to manage stress and build resilience. Stay present yet forward-focused. While enduring crises, remember they are temporary and will often lead to growth or great stories in hindsight. Support each other's journeys. In relationships, practice patience when your partner is struggling and persistence when you are. Remember, you're a team navigating life together,